Hello friends, in this video tutorial we will learn how to use Specflow with Selenium. As part of the tutorial we'll create a sample application and the scenario will be searching for a string on YouTube. We'll also see that what Selenium dependencies we are required to install in order to get it going. So let's get started. Let's open Visual Studio and create a new unit test project. Go to File, New Project, choose a unit test project. I'm naming it as Selenium Specflow Starter. So by default it creates some templated file. Let's remove the unit test file that got created as a result of this template. Let's first install dependencies that will be required for Specflow, and we will use NUnit to run these tests. So I'm saying install package specflow.NUnit, and I'm going with a stable version 2.4.1. And similar to previous examples, we'll create two folders, one each for feature and one for step definitions. Step bindings. Let's add a new feature here. And I'll name it as YouTube search feature. So this feature will have a scenario which will be a simple scenario just to do a search on YouTube. We'll do a search for any string. So I have that code. I'll do a copy for that to save time. You can do a right click and generate step definitions for this. If you want, you can click generate, and in repos bindings you can directly generate it, and you can see that it creates templated bindings. So again, to save time, I have these bindings with me. Let me copy and paste them. There you go. Once these bindings are there, you should see that all the steps that were unbound are now showing that they are bound to a definition. So let's first install the required dependencies of Selenium for the test, and then we'll see what exactly each step is doing. So go to Tools, Package Manager Console, install package selenium dot webdriver dot chrome driver. We'll do a install package selenium dot webdriver, and lastly we'll do install package dot net selenium extras dot wait helpers. Okay, now let's just add the namespaces here so that our project builds, and then we'll see that, oops, I need to add from n unit. So this tutorial is not a deep dive on how and what format should we write Selenium test into, but it's essentially how can we integrate it. Let's open back the feature file and see. So it says the scenario is YouTube search for a given keyword and should navigate to search results page. That is the assertion that we'll do. And if you go through the scenario, it says that given I have navigated to YouTube website, I entered India as the search keyword. When I press the search button, then I should be navigated to search results page. Now if you come to feature steps, okay, so the first thing you see that we have implemented the iDisposable interface, and this is because we want to close the driver instance once our test is complete, and that we have written here. If you can see the dispose method, we'll check that whether the driver instance is not null. If it is not null, we'll close or dispose it to avoid memory leaks, obviously. Okay, now let's see how we are declaring or initializing the driver. As you can see that we have defined the constructor where we declare the WebDriver instance for Chrome driver so that it is available across the test instance. If it would not have been at the constructor, you would have to manage it manually and separately at each individual step. So that's the reason we are declaring it at the constructor level. Now let's see each of the steps one by one. So let's go to the first step, which is given I have navigated to YouTube website. We are saying Chrome driver using Selenium's functions, navigate, go to URL, and we just say that the YouTube URL. As part of assert, we just assert to see that whether the page title contains YouTube. Second step is when I have entered India as a search keyword. So you can see that we are taking the search keyword as a regex expression. So whatever keyword you'll enter will come in the search string parameter, and rest is regular Selenium stuff wherein we are declaring a variable for search input box, doing a find element by ID search. Yeah. And this wait until expected conditions we are doing so that we wait actually for the search box to be visible, and essentially when the entire YouTube page or site has been downloaded or rendered. Third step is when I press the search button. This is simple. We have declared another variable search button as a Selenium web element, and we perform a click operation on it. And finally, then I should be navigate to search results page. We have added some manual sleeps here so that our test does not fail, but probably right way might be to do to by async waits or other kind of waits that are there in Selenium. And we are asserting that the URL of the final page contains the search keyword, and as well as the title also contains the search keyword. So this is essentially a simple example where we have shown that how you can integrate your Selenium test with the Specflow framework utilizing the power of BDD. Let's try to run this scenario. So on the left hand side in Test Explorer, you can see that the newly added scenario is visible. You can simply do a right click by selecting the scenario and say run selected test. It will build the test, find out, and here you can see that it is executing the test on YouTube. Go to the search, and if you go to output, here you can see output of each individual step. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you.